Okie dokie, so here we have Ivara Prime. And the reason why I want to talk about Ivara Prime again is because, and you're going to want to sit down for this one, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be officially an Ivara main. No longer a mag main, gonna be an Ivara main. And this is because Ivara provides way more bows than mag does. It's that simple. Mag will always have a place in my heart, and any changes to mag that come in the foreseeable future, for example, the change that should be coming to magnetize as part of the new player experience 2.0, I will of course be talking about that in great detail, because when you have so much experience in mag, you kind of want to talk about everything to do with mag. But now I think it's time. Put down the magnetism, pick up the Artemis bow, we're going hunting, boys and girls. So with the Ivara build that I am using right now, it's actually quite powerful, and this is also to do with the loadout that I'm going to be running with Ivara. When I say that I'm going to be an Ivara main, what does that mean? We're talking about using Ivara in things like cinematic quests, as well as random weapon demonstrations, and basically anything else that doesn't require actually a different, WarFrame. Oops, blew myself up. That's okay. I have a Vaskat Kavat, I believe it's called. Basically, I have the Vampire Kavat. Hit it. Completely missed. That's fine. So obviously against even level 100 corrupted enemies, Ivara Prime is pretty damn strong. So let's just have a quick look at the loadout for what I'm calling the Infinite Arrow. And that is Ivara Prime Lens and a Kundala, the tip of the spear. With regards to Ivara Prime, this is the build that I'm going to go for. It is a two-former build, specifically an aura former on the aura slot so that I can use whatever aura I like. For example, corrosive projection, which I will never use ever, or enemy radar, which is probably redundant, or growing power, which is also probably a little bit redundant. Basically, I'm going to go with swift momentum instead. Otherwise, everything else should be pretty self-explanatory, and we're going to be using two augments, specifically Infiltrate and Empower Quiver, simply because I like Infiltrate. I think it's really, really good, and I think its use is not just relegated to spy missions. I think it's actually really good in just a lot of senses, especially those laser traps that take away your energy. Infiltrate basically counters that. Awesome. Fantastic. And Empower Quiver is really, really useful as well, specifically when you're using the dash wire, although I didn't use it in that demonstration, and when you're using the cloak arrow, it can actually get rid of the status effect that you may be under, for example slash procs or toxin procs, so that's really, really good as well. Basically makes your cloak arrow a bit more of a support ability more than it already is, so that's really, really good. Now with regards to Lens, you may be thinking, Lens is a bit of a weird choice, it's very noisy, surely it would break your prowl, so that's kind of why people use something like Bazaar Prime. Well, my Lens doesn't actually break my prowl because I'm using Hush on the Excellent slot, so that's really, really good. Otherwise, this is a stock standard crit build using Lens Crit Mag with extra critical chance, so that is very, very powerful. This is essentially the same amount of critical chance that the Paris Prime had prior to re-rolling the Riven and then going through that entire Riven story. And finally, in regards to a Kundala, we are using a pretty self-explanatory heavy attack build, as well as Plague Gripat Grita de Chiada with plus 136.1% critical chance. You put that together with Sacrificial Steels plus 220, and then you also have a ×2 on that critical chance for heavy attacks. That comes out to plus 336.1% critical chance just by itself, which comes out to a whopping plus 672% critical chance on a heavy attack. That's why we're seeing red crits all the damn time. And for every good Ivara comes a good Artemis bow, and for Ivara Prime we have this Artemis bow Prime build, which is basically a critical plus hunter munitions build. That's why it's much more effective against corrupted heavy gunners as opposed to, say, the Lens build, but the Lens build is going to be far more effective at wiping out clumps of enemies. And that's basically the idea using Ivara Prime plus Lens. Essentially, the Artemis bow will be the primary bow, the bow that I'm going to be using the most because A, it doesn't have any self-damage memes, and secondly, it's still very, very strong with 100 munitions built as well. However, if there happens to be a very large collection of enemies, say 10 plus, 15 plus, thereabouts, then the Lens is actually going to be a lot more powerful at wiping out that giant clump of enemies as opposed to the Artemis bow, simply because the Artemis bow is a spread bow, not a bomb bow. So that's basically the idea. We have a nuke bow as a sort of backup bow, we have Artemis bow as the primary bow, we have a Kundala as the energy generator for Artemis Prime, and also the various other abilities in the quiver and the navigator as well. So that's basically how the cycle works for this loadout of the Infinite Arrow. So that's basically how I'm going to be rolling around as Ivara in various things like cinematic quests, railjack, anything else that pops up, because I'm going to be an Ivara main. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments below. If you're an Ivara main, let me know how you play Ivara. You probably play Ivara a lot differently to me, actually. There seems to be a lot of people who play Ivara specifically with something like Baza Prime. Fair enough. I'm not going to do that because I love bows more than I love a pew-pew submachine gun. Either way, hope you guys enjoyed this. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more WarFrame content, and until next time, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Bye!